Hello, welcome to the Daily English News program on Azərbaycan Televiziya with the major developments of the day. I'm Gülər Hətamova. President of the European Council, Charles Michel, made a phone call to President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev. During the conversation, President Charles Michel expressed his concern over the developments on the Armenian-Azerbaijani state border. In response to Charles Michel's appeal on border incidents, President Ilham Aliyev said that the Armenian side has repeatedly resorted to military provocations in the direction of Shusha, Laçın and Kəlbəcər, and that Armenia's latest large-scale attack took place today. Pointing to the wounded on the Azerbaijani side, the head of state stressed that adequate response was given to the provocations of Armenia. President Ilham Aliyev said that all the responsibility for the present situation lies on the military political leadership of Armenia. During the conversation, the sides exchanged views on prospects for relations between Azerbaijan and the European Union. Armenian armed forces committed large-scale provocations against Azerbaijan and Kəlbəcər and Laçın regions of the state border on November 16 at about 11 a.m. Armenian military formations launched a sudden military operation in order to capture the high grounds in this direction of the state border and take more advantageous positions, thereby gaining military superiority. Deputy head of the press service, Anar Eyvazov, reported at briefing. Armenian military units assembling additional forces, special military equipment at the border combat position in the Basar-Keçər and Qarakesər regions attacked the combat posts of the Azerbaijan army in Kəlbəcər and Laçın regions. The opposing side, using weapons of various caliber and grenade launchers, intensively firing on the position of the Azerbaijan army, damaged the combat posts. As a result, according to preliminary information, 2 servicemen of the Azerbaijan army were wounded. The servicemen were provided with urgent medical assistance. There is no danger to their life. Army corps and forces of the Azerbaijan army stationed in the direction of the Kəlbəcər and Laçın regions immediately carried out an emergency operation to suppress combat activity of the Armenian armed forces. As a result of the decisive measures taken by the Azerbaijani servicemen, the Armenian servicemen were disarmed and detained, and large number of weapons of various calibers and large amount of ammunition were seized as a trophies. Another attempt of official Yerevan to commit provocation completely failed. The Azerbaijan army units are taking adequate measures to suppress the provocations of the Armenian side. The situation on border remains tense. It is under control. Counterattack of Armenian armed forces units is prevented by our servicemen. Any combat activity of the opposite side across the state border is being observed by our units. It is observed that Armenian servicemen are leaving their position in fear and panic, and there is a panic among the personnel. Live forces and military equipment of Armenian armed forces gathering across the border are on the target. Combat equipment belonging to opposite side has been destroyed. The operational tactical advantages on the side of the Azerbaijan army units. The Ministry of Defense once again stated that Armenian political military leadership bears responsibility for the tension that occurred on the border. Recently, purposeful provocations have been committed by Armenia. This is another military venture of the Armenian leadership. The press service of Azerbaijan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a statement. It is reported that illegal visit of the former Armenian defense minister to the territories of Azerbaijan, where Russian peacekeepers are temporarily deployed and holding military meetings there. The concentration of about 60% of the Armenian armed forces on the route leading to the Azerbaijan army positions in Laçın, as well as intensive shelling of the Azerbaijani army's positions in Kəlbəcər and Laçın by the Armenian armed forces show that Armenian side is purposefully tense the situation. All this demonstrates that Armenia is not interested in ensuring peace and security in the region, as well as in the limitation of borders with Azerbaijan. We do emphasize that the tension in the region is yet another military political provocation of Armenia. The main responsibility for the current tension lies directly with the military political leadership of Armenia, the foreign ministry stated. The International Military Cooperation Department of Azerbaijan's Defense Ministry held a briefing for foreign military attachés and representatives of the international organizations accredited to the country on November 16th. The briefing participants were informed in detail about the provocations committed by the Armenian side and the current situation on the state border, the Defense Ministry reported. The State Security Service warned Azerbaijani citizens against inaccurate and biased reports being circulated on some media outlets and social network resources. The statement says, in recent days, a number of media and social network resources have been spreading inaccurate reports about some provocations committed by the Armenian armed forces on the state border, aimed at creating panic among the population and confusing public opinion. The circulation of such biased, false and misleading information in the public is liable under the Azerbaijani legislation. The Azerbaijani citizens are urged not to trust such unfounded information which is not clarified by relevant government institutions or backed up by official sources and is harmful to Azerbaijan's national security and interests. Business relations between the Prosecutor General's Office of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Investigative Committee of the Republic of Belarus continue successfully. In order to further strengthen these ties, delegation led by the chairman of the Belarus Investigative Committee, Dmitry Gora, arrived in our country. The delegation of the Investigative Committee of the Republic of Belarus paid tribute to the memory of the great leader Heydar Aliyev in the Aliyev honor. Prominent ophthalmologist academician Zarif Aliyeva was also commemorated. Then the guests honored the memory of the heroic sons who sacrificed their lives for the independence and territorial integrity of motherland in the Aliyev martyrs. At the meeting, Prosecutor General Kamran Aliyev noted that friendly and cooperative relations have been successfully developing in many areas due to the joint efforts and political will of Presidents Ilham Aliyev and Alexander Lukashenko. Chairman of the Belarus Investigative Committee, Dmitry Gora, said there were great prospects for deepening relations between the two countries' state bodies, emphasizing the common interests and first expanding mutually beneficial relations. The sides exchanged views on the protection of the rights and freedoms of citizens of the two countries, the fight against crime, including the disclosure and investigation of crimes committed using the internet, as well as legislation in this area. The Belarus delegation visited the History Museum of the Prosecutor General's office. During the visit, the guests also viewed the conditions created in the new administrative building complex of the Prosecutor General's office. A memorandum of cooperation was signed between the Science and Education Center of the Prosecutor General's office and the Institute for Advanced Training and Retraining of the Investigative Committee of the Republic of Belarus, which defines the prospects of interdepartmental cooperation. A criminal case is underway due to the explosion on mine of Major General Hikmet Hasanov, former commander of the 1st Army Corps of the Azerbaijani Armed Forces. As General Prosecutor's Office reported, owing to the fact that General was wounded by a mine explosion while driving an armored vehicle, the Military Prosecutor's Office opened a criminal case and the investigation is underway under the articles of the Criminal Code, attempted premeditated murder of 2 and more personnel, attempted murder motivated by ethnic, racial, religious hatred or enmity. That was all for the day. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.